Hello, my name is Father Jacob Rouse, and I am the pastor of Notre Dame Parish in Cresco, Iowa. And of all the videos I've made thus far, this is the one that I would really like you to share, especially before all the social media fasts start happening and people log out and completely disappear. I've got a plate of cookies here because I love them. And when they are being baked, it's one of my favorite things to walk by and, the cookie dough and have maybe one or two or 19 spoonfuls of cookie dough. And then when they're done, it's very easy and very fun to, have the entire pan in a cup of milk. It's wonderful. So my inclination and my first response is, okay, Lent's coming up. I eat too many cookies, so I'm going to just get rid of them completely. I'm going to cut them out completely so that, that's my penance, that's my fast. But what I think is much, much more painful and much more valuable is the pain of just having one. Just having one cookie, because cookies are a good thing. They're not inherently bad like some other things, like bad sinful habits that you might be trying to break with Lent. Those are okay to cut cold turkey, whether it's smoking or a drinking addiction or pornography or drugs, whatever it may be. But things that are inherently good, like cookies or social media or pop, anything, when we cut it out completely, then I believe it just becomes an endurance test. What I think is a cool spiritual practice is to just have one and then stop. Say, you know what? I like this stuff, but I'm not in complete control, and so I'm going to give it over to the Lord and remember that He is the ultimate satisfaction. Lent is, I believe, the two things that I try to guide me every Lent is the prayer that says, "You are God, and I am not." And then, this life and its pleasures are good, but they are not my final destination and not my final home. Those two things, by having just one cookie, I'm going to be completely reminded of that every single time I just have that one cookie or just have that one piece of pie and then leave the whipped cream off because that hurts just a little more. Or when I'm just scrolling for only 5 minutes of social media or phone wasting time. When I'm continually reminded that God is my satisfaction and I feel my heart and my mind is lifted more towards the Lord. Lent is coming up, this coming Ash Wednesday. Lent is not a detox. Lent is not January 1st, part 2. You didn't do so well on your New Year's resolution. And Lent is not a diet and weight loss plan. All these things can come from that, yes, but ultimately it is to bring our mind through 40 days of preparation for Easter. It can be these things, but ultimately Lent is to have in our minds and hearts, in liturgy and outside in our daily lives, the Paschal mystery, which is the human and divine experience of Jesus Christ, His passion, His death, His resurrection, and His ascension. He goes the full spectrum of human pleasure and pain and comes back up again and brings us with Him. That's what Lent is all about, and it leads into Easter. So think about what your Lenten penance might be, what your fast might be. Instead of just cutting something out completely, instead of trying to make it a competition or because really, honestly, all I do when I give up sweets for Lent, and plus I look back on myself and say, okay, what's sweets mean? Blueberries are sweet. Cereal's sweet. What is sweets? What does that even mean? Or I've tried to give up coffee for Lent, and then that just makes me even more of a monster and a penance to other people rather than myself. So please, I would encourage you to pray about what your Lenten fast should be. And remember the power of one, just having one cookie, which is a good thing, takes me away from having 8 cookies, which is not such a good thing. You are God and I am not. And Lent is a reminder that this life and all of its pleasures are a gift, but they are not my final home, my final satisfaction or destination. Only the Lord and being in communion with one another is. So I will pray for you, and I hope that you can find something good to do this Lent. In addition to giving something up, we also want to do acts of charity, true love inspired by Jesus. My name is Father Jacob Rouse, and that's all I have to say. I wish you the best Lent. My name is Father Jacob Rouse, and this is really, really difficult. In all the takes that I did to make this video, I only had one of these cookies. Everything else was saltine crackers to get the effect of chewing beforehand. So I offer it up. May you have a blessed Lent, and may you remember the power of the one that is actually in control of all of us, our desires, and our happiness. Amen. Seriously, I've done this so many times. I'm sick of this. Okay, seriously, I hope I can get this right. I don't have any more crackers. This is it. This is the last take. It has to be the last take.